Joe. Crazy Joe. Yeah, I'm Crazy Joe. I be running through the snow. Got no pants, got no shirt, got no money.
Good morning. Welcome to Crazy Joe's Concession Stand. I'm Crazy Joe. It is a beautiful Tuesday morning, a little windy, and the music is blasting. So let's get inside because I don't want to get a copyright strike due to that music they're blasting. And I don't know if you can hear me through the wind anyway, but we are here to check out Now You See Me, Now You Don't, the third film in the Now You See Me franchise. I am a big fan of the first two, especially the first one. The second one, people love to crap on the second one. I hear a lot of people say Now You See Me 2 is garbage. I totally disagree with that. I think it's a pretty good movie, but it does have one dumb little plot element involving Woody Harrelson's sibling. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about, but well, let's get inside. This music's kind of loud. It's not terribly busy in here today, but that's to be expected. It is quite early on a Tuesday. Over here, they've got the tree up. This is nice. This tree, you can pick it, and it tells you like something a child in need would need. I've taken these in the past, so looks like there's only like 4 left. So that's good. That means a lot of them were taken. Look, they got some free posters down here. Predator Badlands, which I've seen twice. Fantastic movie. And The Running Man. So you can get a poster for either one of the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie reboots that's currently in theaters. That's the better of the two. Well, unfortunately today, our movie is in the RPX theater. I despise RPX. It just cranks the volume up to a ridiculous level, so it's unnaturally loud. It doesn't help the movie at all. It actually is a deterrent, and they have an upcharge for it. You have to actually pay more to see a movie in RPX, so I usually avoid RPX like the plague. However, the showtime worked best for me today, and I had a free upgrade. If you ask me, it's a downgrade, but I did have a free quote-unquote upgrade to RPX, so I didn't have to pay the premium. So for expediency and the showtime, we're doing RPX, but I'm none too happy about it. So, and in the RPX theater, we're early. Nobody else is here. I already went in and claimed my seat, so I know nobody else is here. You gotta go down this long corridor.
Pregnant, plan to be, or taking birth control pills. Taking Zepbound with sulfonylurea or insulin may cause low blood sugar. Side effects include nausea, diarrhea, and vomiting.
And you have to sit in less comfortable seats than the normal theater. So there's really no upside to RPX. Okay, I'm back from seeing Now You See Me, Now You Don't. And you know what's funny? I just actually recorded my review of Wicked for Good, which went up earlier today. Now You See Me, Now You Don't is the third chapter in the Now You See Me trilogy. And the second one, Now You See Me 2, was directed by John M. Chu, who also directed the Wicked films. Like I said in my review of Wicked for Good, John M. Chu's a pretty hit or miss director because the Wicked movies and Crazy Rich Asians, they're very, very good. But this is also the guy who gave us Gem and the Holograms, which is universally loathed. And he gave us G.I. Joe Retaliation, the second G.I. Joe movie that starred The Rock. I kind of liked that one. A lot of people hated it. And he also made Now You See Me 2, which is, I think, by far the most loathed film in the franchise. I know people who hate Now You See Me 2. Personally, I think it's okay. I like it's not as good as the first one, and it's not as good as the third one. But I don't hate part 2. So interesting little connection, because Wicked and Now You See Me, Now You Don't are both playing at the same time. And John M. Chu had his hands in both franchises. All right, so Now You See Me, Now You Don't is the third film, as I said. And this one is directed by Ruben Fleischer, who was also the director of Zombieland and Venom. I really like Ruben Fleischer. I love the Zombieland movies, both of them. And Venom is a great film. So I do like this guy. This is his first Now You See Me film. Each one of the Now You See Me movies has been directed by a different director, but it's been 9 years since we last saw the Four Horsemen in Now You See Me 2. And in this film, they have broken up, and 3 young magicians, led by Justice Smith and what's her name, the girl from she was young. I'm sorry, I should have had her name ready. She was young Gamora, and she was young Ahsoka. Hang on, I'll find her name. Ariana Greenblatt, excuse me. Yes, she was in Ahsoka. She played young Ahsoka. She was in Infinity War. She played young. She plays young versions of characters all the time. And she was in Barbie, which is classic film Barbie. But her and Justice Smith and another guy, they're 3 young magicians who are using the name of the Horsemen and using their appearance to kind of cultivate an audience. And it attracts the attention of Jesse Eisenberg's character, who kind of comes in and is like, hey, you're using our names, you're using our images, can't do that. And he recruits them into an adventure with the Eye to bring down Rosamund Pike, who is a jewel she's a very unethical jewel dealer. I won't get into the details of the plot. It gets it's a heist film. You know how these films go if you've seen the first 3 or the first 2. I really like this movie. This might be the best of the 3. I really liked the first one a lot, and the second one is also pretty good. This brings back most of the cast of the first film. Michael Caine is retired, so he's not in this, but pretty much most of the original cast returns for this film, and it's a lot of fun because these guys they go on these like heist adventures, but they use illusion and they use the magic and the sleight of hand and all that to kind of help them on these capers, and that's a lot of fun to watch. There's a great scene midway through the movie where all the magicians are trying to impress each other with their tricks, and they're each doing tricks to try to impress the other, and it's like a circular thing where each one of them does something, and it's just fun watching these characters play off each other. Now, magic in a movie isn't like magic on the stage, because on the stage you're like, how'd they do that? In a movie, Woody Harrelson and Jesse Eisenberg and Isla Fisher, they're not really magicians. So this is all camera tricks. It makes the magic less impressive, but in the world of the film, it's fun watching these characters have that thing where they bounce off each other. There are characters in this film that are not advertised. There are some surprise characters. I will not tell you who they are because the film wants to keep them a surprise. That's why they're not in the marketing. That's why they're not in the trailers. The film wants you to be surprised these characters show up. I don't really think it matters. Like, if you knew a certain character was in this film, I don't think it's a spoiler. In fact, it might make you want to see the movie more. But the film clearly doesn't want you to know that it's there. They're treating it as a surprise. So I will honor that, even though I think it's kind of silly. My only concern with this film, and it's not a problem with this film, this film juggles all the characters really well. You got a whole bunch of characters here, and it juggles them really, really well. But my one concern is that it's too many characters, and they've already greenlit Now You See Me 4. And I'm wondering if this cast is going to start to get a bit cumbersome now that they've brought in 3 additional characters. I'm thinking of Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. I really liked Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, but I also was like, Bill Murray really didn't need to be there. And Annie Potts didn't really need to be there. And Finn Wolfhard didn't really need to be there. There were certain characters that it's like they were there because it's like, well, they were in the last one. You expect them to be here, but they don't really, there's not enough plot to juggle all these characters. And I do worry that the Now You See Me franchise, as they go into Now You See Me 4, could get to that place if we bring back all these characters again. So I wouldn't mind seeing them whittle down the cast a little, as long as they don't get rid of my favorite characters. So there you go. Now You See Me, Now You Don't. It's out playing now. I really enjoyed this one. Go check it out. By the way, I just want to put a quick shout out here. I do these reviews, and sometimes you put things out into the void. You're throwing things out on the internet. You don't know who's watching, and I do get some comments, and a lot. I've several regulars. Bob 4364 is a regular, and Hellboy Pie is a regular. Like, I get like a bunch of people who comment all the time. But I got a particular comment the other day that I just thought was really nice. And I wanted to just put it out there that I appreciate it. Alexander Craig made a comment on my review for, which movie was it? It was The Running Man. And Alexander Craig said, "Joe, you're my favorite reviewer. Thank you for your awesome videos." I don't think anybody has ever called me their favorite reviewer before. And I kind of like took a moment where I was like, oh, that's really sweet. So I wrote in the comments, thank you. I've never heard anyone say that before. And it means something to me. So Alexander Craig, I want to thank you for that. That was a very, very nice compliment. I kind of stumble through these reviews. I'm just kind of giving you my thoughts off the cuff. I'm no trained reviewer. So it was nice to hear that. I appreciate it. All right, everyone. Till next time, keep wearing those pajamas.
Keep wearing those pajamas with the plastic feet. Keep wearing those pajamas. Tell everyone you meet. Keep wearing those pajamas with the back door flap. Keep wearing those pajamas. Don't open it, it's a trap. Oh no, it's a trap. Some people call them PJs, some people call them jammies. They can come embroidered with big money and no whammies. They can have 100 tiny commander adamas, but no matter how they look, just keep on wearing those pajamas. Keep on wearing those pajamas. Keep wearing those pajamas. I know we're having fun. Keep wearing those pajamas. And now the song is done.